These darn headphones ain't even plugged in. Lulu first in. Can y'all hear me? Okay. What's going on? 7 more days. 7 more days. No, it's 6 more days. Yes, sir, Cody. I'm blessed out here. Justin, you say you want the rivalry back up. Hopefully, with Joe, these young receivers, it will be. Rip Serwin, the Viper is usually played with a safety, like a in between, a tweener, like a safety kind of side, a safety slash linebacker type role. So you can see the Viper playing deep, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like the Viper is an in between type role. They'll either on the line almost, or back in coverage, like it's an in-between role. So you can see them playing coverage, blitzing, maybe even being the last man to beat. It's like a safety linebacker type of role. What's up, Stephen Brown? You say, since this is a Q&A, what are your thoughts on Ronnie Bell being likely number 1 receiver? Appreciate the super chat, Rip. Ronnie was our possession receiver last year. So with him being the number 1, I don't have a problem with that because he's a possession receiver. He moved the chains last year. Then you got, not only that, him and Joe worked out when everybody went home and did their thing. Joe and Ronnie were working together. So I don't have a problem with it because them dudes probably gonna put up some numbers this year. Ronnie and Joe, at least. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Ronnie has 1,000 or 1,200 yards or something, because I see him and Joe being clicking like Devin Gardner and Jeremy Gallen did when they started putting in that work like all the time together. King Williams said, how do you feel we will be on defense? Because I don't think it's going to be good at all. I got faith in the defense, honestly. The thing about this year and last year is, like, we didn't have D tackles that were their size that could play, that were prototypical size. We have 300-pounders now, whether that's Mozzie, Chris Hinton, Donovan Jeter. So we have more depth at defensive tackle. Last year we didn't have that much depth. That's why you had like Ben Mason. And so this year, Mike McGrone was a first-time starter last year. McGrone has reps under his belt. I see McGrone having a big year. And then not only that, what's the guy that got hurt last year at a linebacker and McGrone took his spot? He will be back and starting with McGrone. So some of the positions that we left, we have depth at. The one position that really worries me is that other corner. But you can help a corner. You know what I'm saying? You can shade coverage to that side, so you can help a corner. I like Vincent Gray though as the number 1. Like I don't see he's just a shutdown guy yet, but I like him at that position. I like him. Like he comes up in the run and he's long and rangy. One thing about our corners, that if they go with Green, he's like 6'2". So we'll have big corners at least. Jelani, you say Jim Harbaugh was smart this time to put Joe Milton starting QB this year, but Don Brown, how will Don Brown beat OSU? Because on our schedule this year, we can win all our games this year. That's going to be the question, because I've seen a lot of people thinking like we're going to be garbage this year, which I don't think, because like let's just take what we saw last year. Last year we had Shea, who didn't really put in the work in the offseason. It was Gaddis's first year, so that's a learning curve. Then you got Nico, Donovan, Tariq, and then Ronnie. Three of those receivers didn't really fit that offense. Ronnie is a rangy, quick guy, so he fits. The rest of them didn't fit. Then you had young backs. Haskins didn't get any time until last year. Charbonnet was a freshman coming off of knee surgery. So a lot of the stuff that you saw from offense is first time. Guys don't fit. This year you got Joe, who fits that system. Freak of nature, second year in the offense. He hasn't started, but this is his second year in the offense. And for me talking to him, he sounds like he's understanding the offense now. But I mean, we'll see. But that's what it sounded like from listening to him. So you got that. Now you got Ronnie, who fits the offense. Sandra Steele, Cornelius Johnson on the outside. Giles Jackson. These dudes fit the offense. Now you got Haskins in the second year of starting. You got Charbonnet in the second year of starting. You got Chris Evans back, who we know has played a ton. And you got Blake Corum, who Joe said is fast. I asked him, what do you – and he said he's fast. I said that's all I want to know, because we're missing a fast back that can take it 60, 70. So the offense, I see it being like this offense could break out and put up some real numbers. Like I don't see it as – I looked at what we lost as addition by subtracting, because those dudes didn't fit the system. Hit the like button, y'all. It's 23 people in here. Hit the like. Hit the like. I appreciate that, Lulu. And even though you throw in your OHIO. Like, share, subscribe, y'all. Josh Ross. So we got Ross is back as far as I know. So you got McGrone and Ross in the middle, and then Mike Barrett probably at the Viper. Because Khaleke Hudson, he regressed to me. Khaleke regressed somewhat to me. I felt like he got too big and was trying to knock dudes out too much instead of wrapping up. Then Glasgow was undersized. So this year is more prototypical size linebackers with McGrone, who I'm looking for big things, and then Josh Ross being back. Then you got Aiden, Kwity Paye. I'm expecting Aiden to become a first round pick from this year. I'm looking for Aiden Hutchinson to be a beast also. He was a beast last year, but I'm looking for that real production this year. You think Michigan will be mediocre until JJ? I'm not sure about that, PJ Brooks. I got faith in Joe. When you got somebody that's that big, is mobile, if he understands the offense, we should put up numbers with these receivers. All our receivers have been on the team, so all of them are in their second year of this offense. Damon Hammond, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we're gonna surprise people. That's why we're ranked so low, is because we're unknown. New quarterback. We lost big, huge receivers. Tariq's at Texas. DPJ went pro. Nico opted out. But those of us that know, we know them dudes didn't put up nearly what you would think they would. I'm fine being a sleeper because let's say we come out and blow out Minnesota. We're gonna be a top 10 team after the first game. All teams are being impacted equally by COVID. Do you think a 3-4 loss season will put Harbaugh under scrutiny for not letting? This year is going to give Harbaugh a extra year because with this COVID stuff, it's going to be hard to knock anybody unless we just lose like 5 games or something. Kwity going first round. Kwity is a beast too. Definitely. Yeah, Malachi, I see us beating Penn State and Wisconsin too. I know some people think that we beat them every other year. Like they're not a problem team for us. Wisconsin and Penn State, whoever's at home has won the last 4 games. So I don't see them being as a problem to us. Our only problem in the Big Ten is is Ohio. That's the only team. So Penn State lost Hamler and they lost some other dudes. Wisconsin lost Jonathan Taylor, a 2,000-yard back, and their starting quarterback is hurt, and he probably won't play. So Wisconsin really doesn't scare me. They have defense, but I don't think they have enough offense to beat us. Penn State, that could be a pick'em game, but I'm going to pick us. But Wisconsin, I'm really not worried about. They just lost too much. That's too much production. That's a back that's got 2,000 yards every year. And from what I saw, the guy that they have starting this year, he's a more traditional back. He's not going to take it 60, 70 yards like Jonathan Taylor. If he's not going to run you over and then make you miss and go 70. He's not that type of dude. Don Brown is the problem. I mean, it is what it is, y'all. If you're a realistic fan, you know he's a problem. He's the problem going against OSU. If we even put up 40 against OSU, we should be in the game. But they're putting up 60. So 40 is just like, yeah, we're kicking you. We took our foot off the gas. We should be able to score 40 and okay, the game's close, 40 to 45 or 47. But when they're scoring 60, you don't really have a chance because they're gonna stop you a couple times, whether it's interceptions or you having to punt. They're gonna stop you 2-3 times, but we're not stopping them at all. They're scoring 14 points every quarter. Sim Cox, sports content, what's going on? Malachi says he'll bet money we don't lose to Minnesota. I'm pretty high on us beating them. I think they lost too much on defense. Hi, Lulu. I see you. That's a good one. PJ Brooks, you say we keep getting destroyed by a team who gets destroyed in the playoffs. We need to put some respect on our name again. That's a fact, but don't get it twisted, bro. That Clemson Ohio game last year, that was an instant classic. And if Clemson didn't have the heart of a champion, OSU would have made the championship game because they came out hitting them boys in the mouth. And then Trevor Lawrence said, get on my back. Whether you want to say refs, whatever, Trevor Lawrence said, get on my back, because they were knocking him out. They were smashing him. He said, get on my back. Yeah, they hitting me. I probably got a concussion. Get on my back. yeah. You with me? It's in. You with me? Let's go. Let's go. They think they got us. That was football right there. That's a classic game. That's a classic game. Like, that wasn't a blowout, bro. And who was that? J.K. Dobbins. If he don't make all the mistakes, OSU probably slick blows them out. But, you know. Yeah, you say I'm making great valid points, Joe Overshay, because you have a guy who actually wants to work and is hungry over a guy that was entitled and knew he wouldn't lose his job no matter what. That's facts. Joe has been hungry since he got on the campus. He has been hungry and wants to be great. And not only that, he knew he had to work to get the job. He knew it wasn't going to be handed to him. So this dude's been putting in the work, getting bigger, stronger, faster, getting the mental game, because he sounds like he's understanding defenses now. So, you know. Roderick Simpson, it's not really the backs all the time. Wisconsin always have a great O-line. They do usually have a great O-line, but go look up the numbers. Every Wisconsin back ain't putting up Jonathan Taylor numbers. He's a special player. If you have a back that's 5 yards in a cloud of dust, that's fine, because he's not going to take it 70. So just like our backs over the last 20 years or 10, whatever you want to say, they're not going to take it 80. So you can have a play that, okay, your running back picks up 15 yards and we tackle him. Jonathan Taylor takes it 70 yards and it's a touchdown. So you got 15 yards and then we end up stopping you and you have to kick a field goal. Jonathan Taylor takes that same play, takes it to the house. Touchdown. That's the difference. J.K. Dobbins takes it 65, 70 yards. Touchdown. Our back takes it 30 yards, 40 yards, gets tackled. We end up settling for 3. That's the difference. Home run hitters and just a good back. That's the difference. And that's the difference in the game. You see, they getting touchdowns. We had a run that would have went to the house if the guy was fast enough, and then we end up settling for 3. Kicking field goals get you beat. And that's why I say he was special, because he was a complete back. Pass blocking, pass catching, vision, and the speed to take it 70. That don't come around every day. Dennis Wilson, you say, why Michigan hasn't offered Antonio Gates Jr. yet? I'm not sure, bro. I don't get into recruiting that heavy, because it changes so much. And then recruits, you'll think a recruit is gonna be the next coming of whoever, and then they end up being like Derek Green. Boom, 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 boom. Malachi, LSU would have blown everybody out. LSU was one of the best teams probably all time, honestly. The way Joe Burrow was playing, he was on another level. And people say it was the system. That wasn't the system. Dude's ball placement was just unbelievable. And you see it in the pros now. His ball placement is just crazy. Jalen, I said, why don't Jim Harbaugh pick up an Ohio State defensive coordinator to make our defense tough against Ohio State? I'm from Ohio, and all I hear about is Ohio State owns Michigan in football. Jim Harbaugh has he's got a bromance with Don Brown. Don Brown should have been fired last year. After we lost against OSU and they scored 14 every quarter, he should have been fired. But for some reason, he loves Don Brown. Don Brown should have been fired, like, honestly, last year. Stephen Brown says, am I not worried about the constant transfers and how this affects recruits from the specific region? We always it's always transfers, bro, especially now. You can leave and go pro. I mean, you can leave and get to play next year. You don't have to sit out. So transfers is just how it is now. Like, these dudes will transfer for whatever reason. Like, they could be an injury away from playing and they'll transfer. I'm not even going to take the chance. I'm just going to transfer where I can play. So that's just how it is now. Roderick says, Minnesota, we're going to be – Joe going to be throwing them missiles. I hope so. PJ says, I hope Joe can live up to the hype and dominate. Tired of losing and being average. I'm hoping he's Joe's the truth. We just have to see. You know what I'm saying? We just have to see. He's definitely got the talent around him, and he sounds like he's understanding. Like, Joe sounds like he's understanding the game right now. And he's saying with his offensive lineman, he just tell him he just needs to know who's coming free. Just let me know who's coming free. I just need to know who's coming free so I can deal with him. Roderick Simpsons, you say Evans is our home run hitter. Evans can hit home runs, but honestly, out of the backfield, I'm hearing Blake Corum. I think he's faster than Evans. And I think he'll run better in between the tackles. I'm looking for Blake. If he's what I think he is, I hope they put that dude on the field. Because I don't know if y'all watch Georgia-Bama, but Georgia has a freshman wide receiver. He is a beast. Number 7, I don't know what his name is. Dude is a beast. He was killing Bama. But Georgia's, and this you can have a good or great team, and the quarterback will hold it all the way back. Georgia can play with Bama, but Georgia's quarterback stage was too big for him. He looked like pure deep boo-boo. Straight garbage. Like, Georgia's QB, I would have benched him. I'm sorry. I would have benched him. You throw 4 picks and we're still you throw 3 picks and we're still somewhat in the game. I got to sit you down because you're just holding back the team. I think, what did he end up with, like 4 picks? I would have had to sit him down. Like, share, subscribe, y'all. 36 people watching. Hit the like. Hit the like. Jelani says, I believe if Don Brown plays good through our schedule, then we better not play like 2018 versus OSU. He's saying we're going to be putting in more zone. They say we played 50% zone last year. I guess. It didn't seem like it, but that's what they say. But it's a lot of cover too. So it can look like too deep, like man too deep, and it's a cover 2. I don't really care for a cover 2 because corners and safeties look in the backfield too much, and you'll get torched. I like that cover. I like cover 3. That's my defense. Cover 3. Yeah, Malachi. Joe Burrow, statistically, he's the best college quarterback ever. Dude was a beast. Come on, Stephen Brown. Come on. Derek Green was trash for us. He was straight boo, boo. He just won that, bro. And you see, he didn't work out. Then he went, I don't know where he went to, but I don't think he put up numbers wherever he went. Roderick, we need zone. I've been preaching for us to play zone for about 3 years now. For us to play manly zone. To mostly play zone, I mean. I've been preaching for that for so long. Because the year that I feel like our best team was 2016, and we played a ton of zone. I think Mike McCrary had like 5 picks. That's the year we went. That's the year of the bad spot. JT was short, all that. Lop Zepp says we need to see 20-plus runs and 30-plus vertical passes in first half. If not, hopes might not be high. I mean, this isn't a normal year though. I mean, of course we want to see that, but Joe's first game, and we're not playing a garbage team. Like Minnesota has NFL talent, but the good thing is Minnesota lost a bunch of NFL talent. Antoine Winfield, I'm watching him right now. He's playing for the Bucs. One of their starting receivers from last year, he's starting for the Carolina Panthers, and so on and so on. Like they lost like 5 of their top leading tacklers. Like they lost like almost their whole defense. Oh yeah, I was telling my nephew that last night. If Georgia had Fields, if Georgia had Justin Fields still, Bama would have lost last night. Bama wouldn't have been able to beat them. Bama wouldn't have been able to beat them if they had Fields. Fields really set their program back from winning a championship probably, because they got the talent. That defense was hidden. They were hidden. It's just when your offense is giving you nothing, your defense is going to make mistakes when you're going against a great offense. It's just a matter of time before your defense gets exhausted and they figure out a way to execute. So it's crucial that your offense is doing something. And that Georgia's quarterback, he was garbage. That was some bad quarterback play. PJ Brooks, you said, I'm trying to figure out if Joe is that good. Why in the world didn't he replace a bum Shea at QB last year? I'm still lost on that. From talking to Joe, he said he wanted to play as a freshman, but the more he sat and actually learned, he said he wasn't ready. So these are his words, not mine, because I'm thinking the same thing as you. But Joe said he wasn't ready. The more he sat and learned about the offense, learned why he's going to do certain things, learned why the defense is doing this, and what I need to do to attack the defense, that he wasn't ready. This is what he said. He said he thought he was ready and he wanted to play, but the more he learned, he realized he wasn't ready. So that's probably part of it. And this is my thing, and this is where I'll say Dylan hurt himself. Dylan went home during the pandemic and trained with his family. So he's still putting in work, but Joe is training with Devin Gardner and Ronnie Bell. So they're both practicing and training, but Joe is training with the starting number 1 receiver. So when practice starts back, when real practice starts back, at the school, him and Joe and Ronnie are going to be on the same page. Okay, I know exactly what Ronnie's going to do. So regardless of, let's say Joe's not on point with the rest of the receivers, he knows what Ronnie's going to do. So that's his security blanket. I don't care what Sandra Steele, I don't care what Cornelius is or whoever. Joe and Ronnie are going to be on the same page because they've been practicing for months on end by themselves together. So I feel like that probably gave Joe a huge advantage. Like, I got my security blanket, I'm throwing it to Ronnie. And it's not like Ronnie's a scrub. So I feel like that gave him a huge advantage over Dylan. Because I wanted Joe just because he's a freak of nature. But Dylan, I wouldn't have minded Dylan. But I feel like that gave Joe a huge advantage. Oh, yeah. Roger. We know Ronnie's no scrub. Ronnie was our go-to receiver, like move the chain receiver. Jelani says Joe is a beast, but the question is, can he beat Fields? The question is also, can Don Brown slow them down enough to give Joe a chance? If they score 60, it's not likely we're going to beat them because we're going to get stopped once or twice or three times on offense. Terry says, who will be our stud running back this year? I think Haskins is going to be a stud, but you know how we do it. We do running back by committee and see who gets hot. So if you don't get hot, you're not going to get the bulk of the carries that game. So it's going to be whoever starts getting carries, they're going to have to make the most of them. Because if Blake Corum is what I think he is and can take it 60, 70, I think that dude is going to be a beast. For me, watching his workouts, I think dude is going to be something serious. Because you don't do workouts that he does and it not translate to the field. When you work out like Blake does, that translates. Like the explosiveness and the toughness and the strength, it translates. So I think he's going to be the best back out of all of them when their careers are done. Out of Haskins, Charbonnet, and Evans or Chris Turner, I think Blake has the highest ceiling out of all of them. Shoop, he might be. I don't know, bro. I don't know on that one. PJ Brooks says, I feel like we got to taste the playoffs soon. Tired of Bama and Clemson taking over everything. That's a fact. It's basically the Bama Clemson Invitational, and OSU is right there too. Like, okay, we're gonna make it almost every other year. So, but that's on us. That's on us. We have to almost whoever wins our side of our division is going to make the playoff. We've had our chances to make the Big Ten championship. We always lose to OSU, so it's on us to get by them. Lop Zep said, you treat Don Brown so bad. I don't be trying to. You got to understand, I can't take you knowing what doesn't work and you just continuing to do it. Like, it doesn't work. You trying to, okay, I'm gonna do a bracket coverage for the crossing routes, and that's not going to work. You have to run zone. Like, it's just what it is. Like last night, I don't know if any of y'all watched Florida State and North Carolina, but North Carolina is up 10 in the fourth. All they need to do is make North Carolina have to matriculate down the field slowly. But they're playing tight man defense. My head was about to explode. I'm like, why are they doing this? You're up 10 with about 5 minutes left. All you need to do is make them go down the field slowly. Keep them in bounds and make them go down the field slowly. Tackle them in bounds, and they're playing tight man defense. The dude gets torched right off the line, 40-yard bomb. 20, 30-yard touchdown because he's getting torched at the line. I'm like, you have to be kidding me. And they continue to do this. I'm like, what are you doing? Give him at least a 5, 6-yard cushion. These dudes, I'm talking about right in his face. You're going to get lit up. You're asking to get torched deep. And that's what we do. You know OSU players are faster than our receivers, but you just refuse to play 5, 6 yards off. You're playing tight man, and then you wonder why you're getting beat 60 yards deep. While Olave is just, he knows he's about to score a touchdown. He can't wait. Like they just see us in those dumb coverages, and they can't wait. It's like they at the line thinking about what touchdown dance they gonna do. Like, it's ridiculous. Exactly, PJ. Michigan State has been to the playoff, and we haven't. That's why I have to give Michigan State credit. They've been to the playoff. You can say what you want about D'Antonio. He's been to the playoff. He's beaten OSU before consistently while they were good. He's done these things. Oh, Jelani Davison, Joe is gonna have to beat OSU. He's gonna have to play a Cam Newton at Auburn type of game. He's gonna have to play a Tim Tebow at Florida, Vince Young at Texas. He's gonna have to put him on his back. Clemson. Trevor Lawrence against Ohio State last year. He's going to have to play one of those type of games. That's for sure. He's going to have to put the team on his back and have 200 passing yards, 150 rushing yards or something, 400 passing yards and 60 rushing yards. He's going to have a game like that because it's not likely that we're going to be able to consistently run on Ohio State, because we haven't been able to consistently run on them in a long time, since Denard. Denard is the last running back that I think, player that got 100 on them like that, because he's got that speed. Let's see. What do I think Michigan's record is going to be? Honestly, I want to say undefeated going into that OSU game. But what the game that really worries me is Minnesota worries me somewhat, because neither team has played. You have first game jitters, first game with Joe as the starter. Like, it's going to be a lot of pressure in that game on both sides. But I feel like they lost so much on defense, we should be able to score on them. So I say maybe 2 losses, maybe, whether that's to Minnesota and OSU or Penn State and OSU. That OSU game is what it is. But I wouldn't be surprised if we go undefeated going into that game. Like, that wouldn't be surprise me at all. Justin Bays, I just feel like if your boys aren't comfortable running zone, that's on the coach. That's a fact. If you don't have them comfortable and ready to play zone, that's on you. Like, ain't no excuses. You don't have your recruits. If somebody gets hurt, just like if someone gets hurt, you don't have your backup ready to go. That's on you. That's on the coach. That's not on nobody else. Oh, he's a freshman. I don't care. You recruited him. Get him ready to go, and let's go. I don't want to hear no excuses. Ain't that what they told us growing up playing football? Ain't no excuses. So ain't no excuses for you either, coach. Ain't no excuses. Bo Stevens, our linebacker core, will be at an all-time and an all-American level. I believe so. I'm looking for big things out of Cam McGrone. I wish we were in a regular 4-3, like a traditional 4-3. I wouldn't be surprised if Cam McGrone had 100 tackles if we were to go back to a regular base traditional 4-3. I wouldn't be surprised if Cam had 100 tackles. I don't care for the Viper at all. Joe Milton underrated impact will be the pressure he puts on the defense and his threat to run the ball. That's a fact. And Joe definitely said he's gotten faster. Because I wanted to sit and ask Joe a bunch of questions, but he's in college and it's just but I asked him about his speed and he says he's at a 4.6. And that's a 4.6 is pretty fast for a dude that big. And that's not, we're talking about once he gets going and starts galloping, that's a lot. So I'm looking for big things out of him. We need a consistent running game to take the pressure off Joe Milton. I believe we finally have the depth with Corum, also Evans as a third down back. Yeah, and that's what I was saying. That's why I had to make another video about the Minnesota game, because I see it's hardball. It's hardball. So we already know he's going to come out and run the ball. We know he's going to run the ball to take pressure off of Joe. Only way I see us coming out throwing is if Joe is just, they got the utmost faith in him, and they be like, this dude is ready to kill people. So we'll see. But us knowing Harbaugh, I mean, I expect them to run the ball to get him settled in, run some little screens and stuff, and then, try to get him settled in. Because, this dude, after the work that Joe's put in and everything, and no one really believing in him that he's going to be the starter over Dylan, and now he's going to start. And so, his adrenaline and everything is going to be through the roof. Like, we know that. Let's see. Sam Ehlinger put Texas on his back, but it still wasn't enough to beat OU. That's why you got to have defense. You got to have some semblance of defense. Like, you have to be able to get 2, 3, 4 stops at least. We're not stopping OSU at all. You can't win if they're scoring 14 points every quarter. That's ridiculous. Every quarter they putting two touchdowns up. It's just ridiculous when you really think about it. Like, come on. Oh yeah, Lulu, that was Coach Hayes. Shout out to Coach Hayes for reaching out to me. He wanted to do his Michigan video and talk about I know the history. And it was dope getting to talk to Joe and to just see how humble he was. Justin Bay said, "The guy that big and fast is impressive. How does he do on avoiding contact, though?" We don't know, bro. We don't. That's the thing. We don't know. Joe hasn't played enough, and I've only seen him get hit a couple times. Because when he gets in, it's usually garbage time, and they run it in garbage time when he gets in, like most of the time. So I've only seen him get hit a couple times and run it a couple times. Like, so we don't know. I know he's not like Dylan. Dylan just do some crazy stuff. Justin Bay says, I do feel like OSU got a pass on that schedule this year. Boys up north got hosed. We get hosed every year, bro. Our schedule is always one of the toughest in the Big Ten because we have to play y'all, but it's like we have to play Wisconsin, Penn State. We have to play them like every year. We lose Notre Dame. We take Notre Dame off. Oh, here's Minnesota. Thanks. Let's see. Subscribe, y'all. Hit the subscribe button. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Keep the likes up. Oh, yeah. And I know Coach Hayes, I know he's probably talking to Devin Bush. Devin Bush is out for the season for the Steelers. Chief Taylor says OSU brought in 4 top receivers in this class. That's nothing new. Y'all always bringing in top talent, so it is what it is. Stephen Brown says, do you think Michigan would be better served playing 2 deep a lot more because Coach Harbaugh hasn't been known for that? Also, why do you think development has been an issue? Development, I mean, that has to go to your position coaches. That has to go to your position coaches as well as Harbaugh for not bringing in the right coaches. As far as the 2 deep, that would be smart. If you want to play tight man coverage, it would be smart to have two safeties over the top so your corners can play aggressive and know they have help over the top. That would be the smart thing to do. But we play this zero coverage man defense where we're going to blitz. Your safety's on an island. This corner's on an island. Everybody's on an island. One mistake, touchdown. So 2 deep would be the smart thing to do if you just want to run man. But what they're saying Dax Hill is the best player on the team. So if Dax Hill is that good, we should be able to do more things. And if Dax Hill is that good, you want to hopefully he can do what he does best. Hopefully Don Brown puts him in position to do what he does best. That's been a problem on defense. Don Brown puts these dudes in position to lose, not to be successful. Going against Penn State, Ohio State. Whenever we go against a good offense, he puts them in position to fail. Because he doesn't care that you run a 4-5 and the receiver you're covering runs a 4-3. He don't care. Play tight man coverage, buddy. Oh, man, you got torched? What happened? What happened? The blitz didn't get there, and he's faster than me. What do you think happened? We got dudes running 4.6s trying to cover 4.3s. It's simple math. You're going to get beat. If the pass rush don't get there in a split second, you're screwed. Your coach put you in a horrible position. It's that simple. Oh, they ran a crossing route with a pick play. We blitzed. So this whole side of the field is wide open. He's crossing to it. He catches it. There's no one over there. You're done. But you could run a cover 3 and you'd have dudes sitting there waiting to make the tackle. What's up, Coach Hayes? Chris Evans' impact for the Wolverines. I see Chris Evans doing a bunch of things. I see him getting some carries. I see him, especially in the passing game, because he's always been a great a pass-catching running back. That's always been one of his best traits or best qualities as a player is catching the ball out of the backfield. So I see him doing a lot of that. And also, you might see him on kick return and special teams also. I see Chris Evans being in everywhere, as well as Blake. I think these dudes should be on special teams and catching it out the backfield, running it out the backfield, just doing a bunch of stuff with these dudes. Roger Plott Jr., good to see you, Johnny. Just glad to see the Big Ten playing football this year, even if it is late. I couldn't have said it better myself, bro. I'm just glad that Big Ten football is back. And not only that, with it starting so late, we get to watch football in December because our last game is normally November. So we had to wait a little longer, but we're gonna get to watch a little bit longer. So it all worked out in the end. Chief Taylor says, coming from an Ohio State fan, McCarthy looks good at IMG. Who doesn't look good at IMG, though? This is my thing about dudes that come from IMG. Not to say that JJ is good or bad. This is my thing. If you're at IMG, you're playing with the best of the best. So you're going to look better because you're playing with top offensive linemen. You're playing with top receivers, top running backs, top defense. All these players that are there are top talent. Like they're coming from all over the country to come to play at IMG. So it's hard for me to really evaluate a player that goes there. Let's see. But can Joe put the team on his back, or will Joe let OSU defense get to him? And can Joe Milton read OSU defense? If he can do that, we will win. That's the question that has to be answered. I think he's that type of dude, but we haven't seen him play. We haven't seen him play on the stage, the big stage. He looks like he's that dude. We're going to find out Saturday, though. We're going to find out. First game, we're going to find out. Because even, let's say Joe comes out and he's having jitters. He makes some mistakes. After a while, you settle in. And if you that dude, once you settle in, it's going to come up. It's going to come up. You're going to start making plays. If you're not that dude, you're going to be like Georgia's quarterback. You're going to start making mistakes, and then you're going to just consistently keep making mistakes. And it becomes quicksand. Like Georgia's quarterback last night, quicksand. He was in quicksand. He couldn't get out of it. By the end of the game, all you saw was his hands. He was drowning. He's gone. He's gone. Now, when you that dude, though, it's going to rise. Those jitters and all those mistakes, you're going to settle in, and then you're going to start making plays. So we're going to find out. We're going to find out. Everybody's question. The fans that wanted Joe and think he's the next Cam Newton, Vince Young, we're going to find out now. All those fans that, he can't pick apart a defense. He can't make the throws. He doesn't have touch. We're going to find out. We're going to find out this year. So either we're going to have to admit, maybe, or y'all going to be, I told you we're going to find out. So I'm just sitting back waiting. I think he's going to be that dude. From talking to him, he sounds like it's done slowed down. And after he explained it, I said, so the game has slowed down for you? And he said, yep, it slowed down. That's what you want to hear. So we're going to see. Coach Hayes says, I will be at the Minnesota game. Would love to see the Michigan fans. Be sure to say what's up. Definitely, Coach. Coach going to be at the Minnesota game. That's love. That's nice right there. Lop Zep says, if you met Don Brown in person, would you ask for an autograph? I wouldn't ask for an autograph. I would just ask him, like, I understand your concept, but do you feel like sometimes you're too stubborn with your concept? That's what I would want to ask him. Like, do you feel like you're too stubborn sometimes with your concept? Because I'm on YouTube talking, and but at the end of the day, I'm still going to show this man respect for what he's accomplished in college. Like, I'm going to show him his respect, but I need to know understanding. I need to have some understanding about it. Why can't we have a defense like Clemson? We run a very similar style. It's similar, but we don't. They do some of everything. We get basic a lot of the times. Shout out to Justin Bays. Thanks for answering my questions, man. I gotta go, but good luck this season. I'll be watching this year for sure. Appreciate the $20 super chat, Justin. Yeah, but Clemson man blitz, zone blitz, zone. Man, Clemson does some of everything. Like, they're not just, okay, man blitz, man cover two. Clemson is running some of everything. Like, they're gonna mix it up. They're gonna mix it all the way up. Let's see. Bo Stevens says Joe Milton will not lack confidence. He has true endurance. I have said for a year he's the QB to take us to the next level. That's just facts. In this type of college football, whether it was Dylan or Joe, my problem with Dylan is I thought he was going to get hurt. He was just too skinny. But Joe looks the part. That's half the battle in football, is just looking the part. There's a reason the NFL wants these dudes 6'4", 6'5", weighing all these measurables. There's a reason for that. So even a dude like Joe can, like, let's take Joe and let's take Shea Patterson. Shea Patterson might see a throw downfield, and he might see it late and throw it. His arm isn't that strong, so it's probably going to get picked because he saw it late, or the receiver is going to have to slow down to try to catch it. Joe, not to say that you want to do this, but I'm just giving an example. Joe will see the same play and see it late also, but Joe's got a cannon. So Joe can make that throw and it'll still get there in stride because he can throw the ball so far. Or even a scramble play. Shea sees the receiver 40, 50 yards, maybe cutting across or whatever, but he knows he has a noodle arm. He can't try to make that throw. But then you got Joe, you ain't even running far enough. He gonna point him to keep running and put it 60 yards on him. That's the difference. That arm talent is big. Shea had a noodle arm to me. He just had a noodle arm. Like, if Shea Patterson didn't have his feet under him, that he was throwing ducks. Malachi, Shea missed like 50 deep balls. Definitely, he did. Shea missed so many passes, deep passes from just coming up short and throwing it short. He had a noodle arm, and his footwork was bad a lot of the time. Like, Shea had bad footwork just trying to throw a pass in the flats. And I used to talk about this last year. Shea missed wide open dudes in the flat strictly on the fact that he wouldn't get his feet in position to make the throw. He would try to make a pass to the flat like this. What are you doing, Shea? Get your body in position and make the throw. Like, what are you doing, bro? Between Don Brown and Shea, I about had a heart attack last year. Roderick Simpson says Shea was hot garbage. It's true. Boss BOS 6268 says, man, I'm so worried about the corners on Saturday. I've got faith in Vincent Gray. The other corner, see, this is what I'm feeling. I feel like I can trust Vincent Gray. Vincent played a lot last year. He started a few games last year. I trust him, especially I like him because he's good in the run and he's in a good position. The only thing that I say that I hope that from this year and last year that he's gotten better at is finding the ball while it's in the air. But if you've got one good corner, they're not going to go at him. They're going to go on the guy that's unknown. So whoever that other corner is, they're going to be get ready to see Bateman on you quite a bit. And then, but with that being said, you can give him help. You can shade the coverage, the safety coverage, or the linebacker coverage over to that side to assist him. Like, you don't have to just make him be on an island. Lulu says, did Shea get signed to a team? I don't think so. I think Shea's I think he might have went to a Canadian league or some development, I think a developmental league or something like that. Ross Hickson says, I seen a highlight video of Joe, and he threw a 45-yard ball and hit his receiver in stride, and Joe was jumping when he threw it. I laughed and thought about Shea. Shea couldn't dream about making that. 45 yards is Shea. 45, 50 yards is Shea with his feet up under him and like perfect footwork, driving, perfect mechanics. A dude like Joe, that's why I was telling Joe, like, you blessed. Like, you're a player that's blessed with the freakish talent because he can throw 70 yards. He can throw 40, 50 yards off his back foot, just strictly off of arm talent, like Patrick Mahomes. Not to say that but that's what people are comparing it to because they say he can throw it 80 yards. So that's the type of thing. You can't teach that. You can't teach that type of stuff. Emil Robinson, is Nico playing or not? There is a lot of speculation out there. I don't know. I haven't heard of Nico. I haven't heard Nico coming back. And if he did, it would be on some news outlet that Nico opted back in. It would be somewhere. I think it's more of the players trying to get him to come back, because with Nico on the outside, with Joe, that's scary. That's scary because Nico would be deep and Shea wouldn't be able to get it to him half the time. How much have you heard or seen on McNamara just in case he has to step in? LaRon, that's a good question. I haven't seen much on him. What I've read is from camp, Joe was head and shoulders above everyone. Then you had McNamara some days outplaying Dillon, some days Dillon outplaying McNamara. So from what I heard, it was back and forth between Dillon and McNamara as the backup. And then some days McNamara was almost with Joe. So that's why you had Dillon transferring, because McNamara is picking up the system and probably would have been the backup. Dillon probably would have been the third QB from what I read. So he's gotta be picking it up. I mean, this is the second year in this offense. So if you're gonna get it, the dudes that are understanding and getting it, they're gonna rise to the forefront. It's just Dillon probably just wasn't picking it up as quick as these dudes did. Dillon seems to, I'm not sure if his vision is more for the read. Like if I had to pick any of our players to run the read option, it would have been Dylan. Like Dylan was running that read like exceptionally well. Maybe my question was misunderstood because of the wording. I meant too deep as in rotating players in and out. Mozzie and Chris should have played more last season as well as the Green Twins. Oh, okay, bro. I got you. As far as I know, the too deep, the defensive line is 8-man deep. So we have 2 defensive lines that can rotate in. So we're eight players deep at defensive line now. So you got Quiddy, Aiden, Kemp, Mozzie, Chris Hinton, Donovan Jeter, Luigi, and then another young dude. So as far as the D line, we're 8 deep, but those other positions, they don't get rotated in as much. So you're not going to rotate your corners and your safeties like that because it's usually a big drop off between the starter and the other man. But D line, those dudes put in so much energy that they have to be subbed out. At corner and safety, you might go plays and you ain't barely even ran because they're either running or not throwing at your side. But on the defensive line, you're going 100 miles an hour every play to try to make a difference. So those dudes, and last year we weren't deep like that on the D line, but this year we are, and we actually have 300-pound players. So I'm looking for that to be a big difference. How do you think our DBs are going to fare against Minnesota's receivers? I don't know. I got faith in Vincent Gray, Dax Hill, Brad Hawkins somewhat. Hopefully Brad Hawkins has gotten even better from last year. They're saying Dax Hill is the best player on the team. So that gives you 3 dudes that I trust somewhat. And then the corner that we don't know who's going to be the starter, if it's one of the Green Twins, give him help. Don't just put him out there on the island. Give him assistance. Shade the coverage over to him. Give him help. But the thing that worries me is Don Brown's scheme. That's what worries me about Minnesota, because Minnesota does things that exploit Don Brown defenses. They run RPO. They run crossing routes. They will get their star receivers in one-on-one coverage and exploit it. So that's what worries me. Jelani Davidson says, if we get exposed to Ohio State this year because of Don Brown, Ohio will look for our weakness on defense and offense. That's what great coaches do. They find your weakness and they exploit it until you make an adjustment. I don't care if it's offense, defense, or special teams. They will find your weakness and they will exploit it. You can count on it. You can count on it. Let's see. Yeah, Slade, the expectation. You heard McNamara beat out Dylan, and that's the same thing I heard. Oh yeah, Roderick. Nico wasn't dropping passes, and I used to get mad that we didn't throw it to him deep more, because he's either catching it or it's a pass interference if it's in his area. If it's in his catch radius, he's catching it, or it's a pass interference. Sports Context says, do you think we will beat the Buckeyes? I don't know, bro. I don't know. I have to see about Don Brown. He's the question. Can he get some stops on them? And this is the difference when we play them. They score nothing but touchdowns. We're scoring touchdowns and field goals. They're getting 7 every time. We're getting 3, 7, 3, 3, 7. They're getting 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. We're getting 3, 3, 7, 7, 3, 3, 7, 3, 3, 7. They getting touchdowns every time, and we kicking field goals with some touchdowns sprinkled in. And that's why Don Brown probably should have been fired. You can't even hold them to 3. They getting touchdown, 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 touchdown. Have they kicked any field goals in the last 2 games? I don't think they have, honestly. I think it was nothing but touchdowns. Hit the subscribe button, y'all. If y'all ain't subscribed, come on, man. Come on. Ain't nobody on YouTube giving y'all real talk like this. Nobody on YouTube is talking real talk Michigan like this. Hit the subscribe. Shout out to Steve Deese and James Yoder, but it ain't giving y'all real talk. Jelani Davidson says, the media says Michigan can't win a big game. I mean, when was the last one we won? What, Notre Dame in the Notre Dame at home in a monsoon. I mean, it was – don't get me wrong, I love the blowout, but, there was a lot of factors into that game that helped us just destroy them. I mean, but it is what it is. But we haven't really beat anybody good on the road. So at this point, it's true. If Jim doesn't win any big games, will that put him on the hot seat? His hot seat is coming. He's going to get a break this year because of the pandemic. But 2021, the 2021 season, it's going to be do or die for him probably. Shout out to James Lepig. Man, I'm stuck at work tonight, but I've been listening to this in my ear the last hour. Good stuff as always. Go Blue. Yes, sir. I appreciate it, bro. Because I know not having nothing good to listen to at work will make the time go super slow. You got something good to listen to, the time just flies by at work. Yeah, Brad Hawkins was our starting strong safety last year. Metellus was at free. So now you got Dax Hill at free. And hopefully, Dax Hill, I need you to be playing like Antoine Whitfield Jr. was last year for Minnesota. That's what we need out of you. We need our star players to play like star players. That's what we've been missing. We need Joe to play like the freak of nature. We need Dax Hill to play like a first-round pick, to play like Antoine Winfield Jr. did last year. We need Aiden Hutchinson to play like one of the Bosa's for OSU. We need him to play like that, or Chase Young. We need them to play. Our first-round dudes need to play like first-round dudes. Because you can get graded out for the first round and have mediocre stats, but you're 6'6", you run a 4.5, you have all the measurables, so you're still a first rounder. But on the field, they're like, well, he didn't have the production, but he has everything to be great. Well, no, we need these dudes to have the production. We need them to have the production. I need Cam McGrone to have 90 to 110 tackles. I need Dax Hill to have a ton of tackles and 5-6 interceptions. I need Aiden Hutchinson, Kwity Paye to have 10 sacks. I need Ronnie Bell to have 1,200 yards. I need Joe Milton to have 40 touchdowns. And so on. These dudes that are we say are our stars and our leaders to play that way in big games. Because certain games, Don Brown's defense will just beat you on against Rutgers, Maryland, probably. Well, we don't have the cupcakes this year, so it's going to be a little different. But on a normal year, Don Brown's defense will beat most of those sorry teams just because they can't pick up the blitz and it's too much talent. But this year is going to be a little different. You ain't getting teams to warm up on and build up your numbers on garbage teams. You ain't, and that's part of the problem with Don. You ain't gonna get to build up your numbers this year, dog. You're gonna have to. Now, if Don Brown's defense ends up being a top 10, a real top 10 defense this year, it's legit because they ain't built up on cupcakes. They haven't. They're not going to build up and give up 150 yards against Tennessee State or something or whoever. You know what I'm saying? These are all these wins and all these numbers are going to be against legit teams. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see this year. We're gonna see what you made of this year. Stephen Brown said, yeah, bro, I ain't going to be biased. I'm biased because I'm a Michigan fan, but I'm going to keep it 100. I'm going to keep it 100 on what I think and feel. Jeremy Turner, do you think Joe Milton would be the starter if Josh Gaddis wasn't the offensive coordinator? I feel like he had the guts to speak up and name the better QB. You're probably right on that. You're probably right because I feel like Harbaugh likes to go with seniority. And you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that. If a younger player is better than a dude that's been there 3 years and waited his turn, oh well. We're trying to win. You put the best players on the field. And that goes for a quarterback, just like Georgia's quarterback yesterday. He held them back from beating Bama. He was straight boo-boo. He basically lost that game for them. I would have set him down. Football, you got 60, 65 dudes on a team, and you letting one player single-handedly let down all these players. So you telling me the quarterback is more important to the team than everybody. He has to start he has to finish the game. And to me, that's the difference between great coaching and a good coach. A good coach will sit there and let a garbage quarterback single-handedly lose a game for you. A great coach will sit him down and say, I have coached and trained my backup to win this game, to be able to win this game for him. I have him prepared, and I am ready to put him in the game. So Oklahoma did it last week. They set their starter down, put the backup in, and then put the starter back in, and the starter won the game for him. Nick Saban, Jalen Hurts, I need you to sit down. Tua, you're in. Championship. That's the difference. You can't just let one player lose a game for you. It's too many other players. You got 60-some dudes on the team, and you're gonna let him let down everybody on the team. When all we hear is this is football is the biggest team sport there is. And some of these coaches they'll ride with the quarterback. Like they don't trust their backups or whatever. To me, you can't do that type of stuff. You owe it to the rest of the players to put in somebody else. And when you don't do that, I feel like it starts to make you lose your team somewhat. Because There's no accountability. Okay, our quarterback is playing horrible. Coach won't take him out. He can just make as many mistakes as he wants to, and coach will just leave him in. But let me get torched at corner multiple times. I'm going to be on the sideline sitting down. Let me miss a block at running back. I'm going to be on the sideline sitting down. Let's see. Appreciate the $5 super chat, 23 Tails. How do you feel about Joe Milton after all y'all interview? Bro, I think Joe is ready to put up some numbers. I think Joe is ready to put up some numbers. Appreciate the $4.99 super chat, Jeremy Turner. Says, got content always 100, go blue. But after talking to Joe, I think he's ready to go. Like, honestly, I think he's ready to put up numbers. I think he understands what he's doing. And to hear a player say, I wasn't ready, that lets you know that he's seeing the game better than he did before. Because you'll have players say, I was ready before and I was ready this or whatever. And then it shows that they still ain't ready. But to hear him say, I wasn't ready, that lets me know that he's understanding the game more. That he really understands it better now. Let's see. Bo Stevens says, we were too small with Dwumfor, Glasgow, Hudson, Metellus, Hinton, Ross, Barrett, Dax Hill will replace them and have better talent and size. Exactly. And that's why I say it's addition by subtraction. Because the players that are replacing the guys we lost, they have better upside. What you got? You got Dax Hill, 4.3 speed, replacing Metellus. You got Mike Barrett, who I believe is faster and more prototypical size, replacing Hudson. You got Josh Ross, who was the former starter at middle linebacker, replacing Glasgow, who was undersized. Josh Ross is prototypical size at linebacker. Dwumfor is gone, who was undersized. Now you got probably Chris Hinton or Mozzie Smith, 300-pounders. So it's the addition by subtraction. That's a fact. Roderick says, well, a few of Georgia QB INTs was from deflection. Bro, he was trash yesterday. I'm sorry. He was boo-boo. Just some of the thought patterns and what he was doing, I would have set him down. Because the game was too big for him. That's what I saw. The game was too big for him. Because some of those throws, he threw the ball too hard. And some of them were just like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing, bro? What are you seeing? Roderick Simpson says, yeah, we need regular pressure without blitzing. Crazy agreed. Yeah, that's a fact. We need, and I think we will be able to get pressure without blitzing this year with Aiden, and Kwity Paye, Luigi, and then having Kemp, who's okay. He's undersized, but it is what it is. Kemp and Chris Hinton or Donovan Jeter in the middle. I believe we'll have pressure coming from the middle now. So when QBs want to step up and want to try to either run up the middle, we will have pressure and the pocket will collapse more. So the quarterback doesn't have anywhere to go. Everybody hit the like button, y'all. 52 people in here, 42 likes. Get it on up. Jelani Davis says Joe Milton was on live on Instagram and said he's watching film from, again, everyone, even OSU. Joe Milton is putting in the work, y'all, and that's why I trust him. That's why I have faith in Joe. and this is what I always say, you put in the work and then you see where you are. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're high school, middle school, the pros, whatever. You put in the work to be great. You want to be great, you need to be putting in the work, practicing on your own all the time, in the weight room all the time, watching film all the time. To be great, you have to treat it like a job. Unless you just one of these unbelievable dudes, unless you like a Mike Vick, to where it looks like God just said, okay, you're going to be a better athlete than everyone. Unless you're that, you need to be doing the work. And even Mike Vick, a dude looked like he was just the best athlete ever. He said he wasn't putting in the work. Mike Vick probably could have been one of the best quarterbacks all time if he was putting in the work. When he went to Atlanta, he said he wasn't even the last man at practice and the first one to leave. That's just crazy. Say he wasn't watching film, none of that stuff. If you're not like that, you need to be putting in the work on your own, at practice, staying late at practice, working out on your own, watching film with coaches on your own, working out with coaches on your own, put in the work and see where you are at. If you ain't doing everything you can to be great, then who can you blame but yourself? Here come the bird. Vic is wild. For Vic to be able to do that and then admit that he wasn't even watching film, didn't barely know the playbook, and still make it to 2 NFC championship games, that's unbelievable. That just shows how unbelievable an athlete Vic was. Bo Stevens says, who do you think was our best defense? I mean, 97 was the best. We have to say 97 was the best because they didn't lose. They consistently put up numbers. 2016, honestly, I would say 2016 is the best that didn't win a championship. I'd say 2016. 2006 was David Harris, Lamar Woodley, Alan Branch, all those boys, Leon Hall, Marlon Jackson. That was a good defense. That was a good defense. I take that back. 2006 was a better defense than 2016, I feel. But, I mean, it's 2006 and 2016, they about nip, tick for tat. Defense, I'll say 2006 had better NFL players. You had Lamar Woodley, Pro Bowler, Leon Hall, Pro Bowler, David Harris, Pro Bowler, Marlon Jackson. If he didn't make Pro Bowls, he was on the edge. Most of those dudes won Super Bowls. Marlon Jackson, Super Bowl with the Colts, with Peyton Manning. Woodley, Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? If you look, Michigan's got a lot of good players in the NFL right now. Like a lot of good players making differences on teams. Lulu, shout out to the Michigan fan who jumped off that cliff on your community tab. Go for his GoFundMe. I appreciate it, Lulu. Lulu was a fool. Yeah, that 06 team was stacked. It was. They had higher caliber players. Let's see. Do I believe Chase Young will win the Heisman? Chase Young is on the Redskins. Chase Young went pro. Cornelius is our only guy over 6 feet, I believe. Yeah, I think he is. I think what's Cornelius is Cornelius is 6'2". But if you look at college football, you don't You don't have to have those huge dudes, especially not for the offense we run. You just need dudes that are going to get open and be able to do something when they get the ball. That's what we need. That's what you need, and that's what we have. We have dudes that when they get the ball, they can eat up yardage. Giles, Sainristil, Ronnie, these dudes catch the ball and eat up yards. Like our receivers last year, besides Ronnie, but DPJ, Tariq, Nico, they're not catching it and eating up yards. They're catching it and getting a couple yards and going down or going out of bounds or getting tackled. These dudes we have now can catch it, make dudes miss quick, fast, quick twitch muscles. You got your fast twitch muscles, then you got your quick twitch. These dudes have quick twitch. They are going to make a move and can eat up yards fast. Let's see. Ronnie Virgil says, hate to say it, but our boy Tariq Black looking bad on Texas. And I thought Tariq was going to be a great player sooner or later. And they just say he's a knucklehead or something. Like he seems like he's the type of player that pouts if he doesn't get his way. And he had a good first game. He had like 70, 80 yards the first game and a touchdown. But since then, they say he's been in the doghouse at Texas. So he's just that type of player. It is what it is now. So that's addition by subtraction. Do I think our QB play will be better this year? Definitely. Even as good as Shea played against Indiana and Michigan State at the end of the year in the first half against OSU, I think Shea's completion percentage from last year was like 44, 45%. That's not good. That's pretty bad. So it can't get much worse as far as a completion percentage. And yes, I'm worried about Rashad Bateman. Yassine, I'm worried about Rashad Bateman. I'm definitely worried about it, bro, because Don Brown is known to put dudes in man coverage on an island against fast dudes. This dude will torch you. I watched his highlights in some of their games. He's impressive. He was very impressive. He's a complete receiver. He can take a comeback route, a 10-yard comeback route, and get 30 yards from it. He can take a quick slant and take it 50, 60 yards. He can take a go route and beat you straight off the line. He's complete. Do I believe Joe will win the Heisman Trophy this year? Not this year, but I feel like next year. I feel like next year he will be on the Heisman watch list and definitely have a chance at something. Yeah, 23 Tails. The last time we saw Chris Evans, he didn't have a good year. Yeah, he didn't have a good year. Let's see. Hit the subscribe button, y'all. Like, share, subscribe. CS says Michigan needs to run early and often this year. They probably will. I mean, we got a stable of backs. The only thing is, and from what they're saying is the offensive line is probably going to be a better run blocking team than last year. They say they were better at pass blocking last year, but they expect them to be better at run blocking this year. So here come the birds. They say was so trash. He was. "23 Tails, yes, sir. Thinking more of an old Patriots offense, get the ball out quick with those very quick receipt players. And that's what it's about. Get it out quick, and if you have time, go deep, because you always want to stretch the field. You always want to make them as an offense, as an offensive coordinator, you always want to make the defense guard the whole field. So that's going sideline to sideline, that's stretching the field deep, that's running inside and outside, and that's throwing the ball between the hash marks. So to your tight ends and on deep posts and things like that. You want to make the defense worry about everything. Dax needs to line up on offense. Why do our best athletic players play only defense? That's true. That's true. Roderick Simpson says they benched Evans. Let's see. It says Roderick says, "Yep, get Dax in for a few wildcat plays or jet sweeps." They probably just don't want to get him hurt. And honestly, this year we might not need him on offense. And he's also this year, he's extremely valuable on defense. If they're saying he's our best player, they're saying he's the best player on the team right now. So if he's that, he probably doesn't need to play offense because he's that valuable to the defense. Come on, Steven. You got to Ronnie is, bro, you can trust Ronnie. He dropped that pass against Penn State. He dropped it, but let's not act like he wasn't our most consistent receiver last year. Everybody dropped balls on the team last year except for Nico. But Nico is Nico. Like he's a beast, 6'5", and he's got plates as hands. Like, come on. So I trust him. Bo Stevens says, "What are you talking? You talking about the 2016 D line? It probably was one of the deepest we've ever had because most of those dudes went pro. Most of those players are good players, even in the NFL." Bruce McGraw says, "Word has it they haven't renewed Harbaugh's contract yet." Yeah, they haven't. I was just watching something talking about that the other day, that they haven't renewed his contract. Here Come the Bird says, "I believe Gaddis will have our offense clicking." I think so too. I think this second year, players are understanding what needs to be done on this offense, and Gaddis is also understanding probably how to call a better game than last year. I better not see no stupid penalties or holding against OSU. Margin for error is so small. The margin for error against OSU is this. Like, it is this small. So, but that's on Harbaugh. That's on Harbaugh and the offensive and defensive coordinators to make, and this starts in practice. You make penalties, guess what? It's gonna be a long practice. For any type of penalties, you're going to get punished for it. They have to build that discipline in practice so dudes know not to make penalties, especially dumb penalties. Dax caught a fake punt by Barrett last year against Army. Yeah, he did. That was our first taste to see Dax Hill. Honestly, from last year, I felt like Dax Hill didn't have his legs under him all the way last year. Like, it felt like he was fast, but it looked like he was almost running in sand almost. Like, I didn't see that 4.3 speed that much last year. To where it was like, okay, he's just eating up yardage type of, like he's eating up yards and coming. Like I didn't really see that. I feel like him having a whole a full off season and last season to get the weight room and get your eating habits the right way. I feel like and that's probably why they're saying he's the best player right now, because he's probably he's in the college regimen now. He's got the college strength conditioning now, and he's got a better understanding of the defense now, probably also. Turner says, man, I'm still mad at Hudson for jumping off sides versus OSU last year. It was over after that penalty. Exactly. I know he did, bro. I know he dropped that pass, but mistakes happen. It's what you do after that now. Now, what are you gonna do after that, Ronnie? Ronnie put up numbers last year, even after that. Now, what you gonna do this year? You gonna become that real number one receiver that deserves to wear the number one? You gonna put up 1,000 yards? You gonna get 10 touchdowns? What you gonna do? I like Ronnie, bro. Yeah, Hudson is Jelani Hudson is on the Redskins. Yeah, he's on the Redskins. Army 23 tells so Army proved just how bad Don Brown really is. Kemp as nose with outside linebackers as defensive ends. SMDH. That's a fact. That was some dumb stuff that he was doing last year. But that was his own doing because he wanted smaller players. He wanted quicker, smaller players. Let me tell you something, Don Brown. It's prototypical players that are just as fast or faster as those small, quick players you put out there. So you can get a 6'2", you can get a 6'2" DN running a 4.5, and OSU will have one that's 6'4" and 275, 285 running the same speed, if not faster, running a 4.5 or sub 4.5. You can have a 6-foot corner or 6-foot safety that's 210, 215, and I can find you a 6'2" safety that's 225, and he's running a 4.4. So you can try to, I want to get quicker players that are undersized, and I can Bama and Georgia and OSU will find that same player that's prototypical size, and he's faster. So that's the difference. You get undersized players, and they will get manhandled by dudes that aren't fast. They're just prototypical that size. So you got Glasgow trying to go against a lineman that's 6'5", almost 300 pounds. Oh, you got heart, son, but you little. You got heart, but you little. Where you going? You too little, dog. He put you in a disadvantage, putting you down here. What they say on what was it? Penn State last year, when we needed to stop Penn State so we could get the ball back and have one last chance. We couldn't stop them. They do the little jet sweep to Hamler, and they get their offensive lineman on Glasgow, on Hudson, and they put him in a body bag. Y'all remember Karate Kid? Put him in a body bag. And that's what they did. Them dudes, them big offensive linemen got on Glasgow and Hudson and them dudes. And what are you, 220? I'm 300 pounds. Get out of here. You too little. Now, if you got prototypical size guys at linebacker weighing 250, 245, 6'2", legit, they can get off those blocks. They can and get off. But Glasgow, I'm watching the play. Glasgow, Hudson, they like this, getting manhandled in crucial situations. Like Penn State. We knew they had to run that last drive. Milk the clock. They have to run. They have to run. You know it's coming. Can you stop them? Nope. You getting bodied. You getting dragged. Same thing, OSU, Wisconsin. You know they're about to run. What you gonna do? We running it. We in a running set. You know it's coming. Can you stop us? That's football. When you know what's coming and can you stop it? Yeah, I know you know it's a run, but guess what? We don't care. We about to run you over. We about to manhandle y'all. That's what it is. So you need prototypical dudes, prototypical size. Because you can find an undersized dude, unless he's a freak of nature, running some sub 4.3 or something like that. Get a prototypical dude that might be a little bit slower, or he might be just as fast as that small dude that you found. Because we know Georgia, Bama, OSU, LSU, and these certain teams, they don't have them dudes. Clemson, they gonna have them dudes. That's gonna be prototypical size and even bigger, and still be flying around. So you coming with undersized dudes trying to make up a little speed, it's only gonna get you so far. When you play a good Penn State team, a good Wisconsin team, a good OSU, you play Bama, you play Clemson, you play Georgia, you play a good Notre Dame team, and you bring them undersized dudes out there, they gonna get dragged. They gonna get put in body bags. Simple as that. You put them undersized dudes out there against these teams that are gonna have big freak of nature dudes, they are going to drag you. Don Brown put Glasgow over Wisconsin offensive guard to shame. When I heard him say Glasgow is one of the best defenders in the Big Ten, I knew we were doomed. Yeah, they blow a lot of smoke on some of these players. Just like last offseason, they were saying Ben Mason was D tackle. I used to, and they say he's gonna get some playing time, and he would get in the game, but he wasn't really doing nothing. Ben Mason would get in the game and end up on the ground, or end up just like this. He's not getting a push. He's not really getting, he's just holding his own barely. Like, he's not really doing anything. So, and I have a problem with that. So you take a great fullback, you take a dude that does his job extremely well, and you take him and make him undersized and a below average D tackle. You take a great fullback and say, no, I'm going to put you over here for depth at defensive tackle, and make him an undersized, below average D tackle. So you just wasted his talent. That's what you just did. You wasted his talent. Let what these dudes do best. Let them do that. We took this year. Now this year, they're saying, what's the other backup fullback? Was it Ben Samverin, or I don't know how you say his last name. I think he was number 5 or something like that. He was the other backup fullback. They're saying they're playing him at linebacker now. They're saying they're playing him at outside linebacker. And they're saying he's looking unbelievable. When he sees something, he's coming 100. And that's what they say. So I saw him at fullback. He looked pretty good. Are y'all gonna wasting his talent and trying to move him to linebacker? He may be good, but from what we've seen, they like to puff a lot of smoke just to, he's looking good. Then when they get out there, it's like, okay, why did you switch his position? Yeah, Ben Van Sumeren. There it is. Yeah, they're saying he's at outside linebacker. I don't trust it. "23 Tails. You say you feel sorry for Ben Mason. He was perfect fullback. Now he all out of whack, size off, skills off. They screwed him. They messed his whole game up, bro. And it's sad. They messed that man's whole game up. He was a great fullback. Let him do that. So, and this is what's sad. So you telling me you took, and I actually saw Ben Mason in games last year, especially early in the season. You took a great fullback and you put him in the game over Mazi Smith and Chris Hinton? You must be joking me. He wasn't showing you that much in practice. And if he was, that just shows our O-line was looking like trash. Because I saw almost nothing out of him in games. That's just crazy. But I had a problem with that last year because I felt like Chris Hinton and Mazi should have been playing from the jump. One of them was ready to and if they're not ready, play them early. It's gonna pay off dividends by the time you get to OSU. Because this is my thing. Whether it's whatever sport you're playing, once you're in college and pros, you need to build your team to beat whoever is. If you have a dynasty in your division or somebody that dominates the division, I need to build my team to beat them. Everything I do needs to be to beat them. So to beat OSU, I need to be able to get pressure on the quarterback. I need corners that are fast. I need speed. Everything has to be to beat Ohio State. I don't need to build my team to beat Penn State. I can beat them already. I don't need it to build it to beat Wisconsin. I can beat them already. I need to build my team from offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, from the players to beat Ohio State. If you can beat Ohio State consistently, you can beat everyone in the Big Ten consistently. That's the goal, is to beat Ohio State. Build a team to beat them, and then everything will fall into place. I need dudes that can compete with them. I need offensive and defensive coordinator that respect them enough and understand what they're doing so we can beat them. Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. I don't need to build a team to beat Wisconsin. We beat them every other year now. Penn State, we beat them every other year now. When was the last time we beat Ohio State? I'll wait. That's what it's all about. We have to build teams to beat them. Not, I'm going to build this team to do what I like to do and all this. No, I'm building my team to beat Ohio State, to stop what they do. That's all. That's what you need to do, and that's all that matters if you want to win championships and win the Big Ten. What's up? I'm Dan Reeve. What's going on? Yeah, it's been a long time, bro. I'm glad to be back. Yeah, 23 Tails. I'm build the team to beat them. I ain't trying to. I'm just building my team to my way. No, you need to build the team to beat them, dog, because they ain't playing. You telling me you doing it your way, and they putting up 60 on you consistently? No, you need to figure out their way and build a team to beat them. Then we'll see where we're at. But no, nothing else matters. We beat them, and then we build a team to just compete with them. We build a team to compete with them consistently. The playoff committee will have a problem on their hands because we'll be consistently losing one game just to them. If we can compete with them, if like let's say the last year 3 years, every game is 38-37, 42-45. Let's say we're losing to them, but we're competing with them. We'd be going undefeated in the Big Ten besides that one loss. And the way our schedule is, the committee will have a problem on their hands. Like, okay, Michigan looks like they're a top 4, top 5 team. Now let's look at their schedule. They have played like 4 or 5 top 25 teams and only lost to one. Committee will have a problem. I mean, we're about to go to either next year or the year after. It's going to be an 18 playoff soon. It's coming. Let's see. Hit the subscribe button. If you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe because I'm going to be doing a lot of these lives and putting a lot of content out, especially once the season starts. I'm going to be putting out a lot of content. Yeah, but it's just the Ohio State, you have to build for them. Like, everything has to revolve around them. They run the Big Ten. And, oh, yeah, it just so happens they're our biggest rival. So everything, your scheme, like Don Brown, your whole scheme should revolve around what Ohio State does. Because if you can beat them, you won't have a problem stopping everyone else. They have the most talent. If you can slow them down, you can slow down Penn State, Wisconsin, Michigan State, Rutgers, Nebraska, Minnesota. You can slow them down. Your whole scheme needs to be to stop Ohio State. Not, oh, my scheme is the man blitz viper. No, your scheme is whatever slows the Ohio State down. Make that your scheme. Please and thank you. I don't want to hear my scheme. No, your scheme needs to be whatever stops and slows down Ohio State Buckeyes. And don't come back. Matter of fact, don't come back in here until you have a scheme that you really think it can slow them down. Don't come back in here. Bree Van Ryan said, Johnny O, we love you. Keep doing your thing. What are your thoughts on Mike Sanders still having a breakout season? That's another Sanders still. I'm looking for Sanders still to have a breakout year. Sanders still, Giles Jackson. I'm looking for these dudes to be eating up yardage. Definitely. And be all over the field, whether that's in the backfield, whether that's at receiver, whether that's punt return, whether that's kick return. I feel like this year we should be getting touchdowns on all 3 phases. Coach Hayes said, yes, sir, Johnny. Schemes will have you on the couch looking at the playoffs from home. LOL, loved it. Can Don Brown find out how to be? Jelani, that's the question. That's the question. I feel like the last couple years, he just didn't give them the respect they deserved almost. And we going to be ready and all that type of stuff. Nah, bro. Just don't say nothing. This year he learned his lesson. He ain't saying nothing. Just don't say nothing, bro. You haven't proven that you can even talk trash to them. Like you talking trash to them is counterproductive at this point because they're destroying us on offense. So it's like, why are you even talking to them? It's obvious it's helping them because they put up 60. Like just shh. No, I'm gonna prove it on the field. We'll see them on game day. We'll see them on game day. Ain't no time. Ain't no need to talk. Oh, and it's gonna hurt some feelings, y'all. The Buckeyes have earned the right to trash talk us. They've earned that right. We can talk trash, but as far as our coaches and stuff, they haven't earned the right to talk trash to them. How? Like, they better be ready. They put 60 up on you last year, dog. What you talking about? Come on. Then came back the same year, did it again. 14 points each quarter. Kicking field goals. They field goal kicker over there mad. Like, I wish I get a chance to play. All he gets to do is kick extra points. Come on. You ain't earned the right to talk to them when they scoring 14 a quarter on you for 2 straight years. Oh yeah, Bruce. I saw that. Linebacker. Bree Van Ryan says, "What do you think the Minnesota score will be? I think we can run the ball. We will be straight." And that's what I've been thinking. We can run the ball because they have young linebackers. They have young. Their whole defense is pretty much young, from safety to linebacker to DN and corner. They have a lot of young players, first-time starters. So we should be able to run on them. The score, I don't know. I hate predicting scores and stuff. But if I had to say, I'd say 28 or 24 to 31. I see us scoring about 30 something. So maybe 35 to 25. I see us pulling away from them though. Rox Hickson says, yeah, we stole that LB from Coach Hayes' FSU team. Sorry, Coach. Here come the bird says, want this channel to become better than Yoder and Steve. I'm working on it, bro. I just got to get my production a little bit better. Once I get my production, I feel like it's going to fall into everything going to fall into place. Your boy Yoder is in his feelings because he thought Dylan was going to be the starter, and he used to talk bad about Joe, and now he's in his feelings, and I don't think Joe's going to be this and that. Get out of here, bro. Regardless, he's the starter now. He's going to be great. We're expecting great things, and if Joe goes down or knock on wood, I'm not saying that, or if something happens, McNamara, we have faith in him to be great. Once you're the starter, I'm in your corner until you show me, well, you're not ready. But once you're the starter and we need to see what you do, I'm in your corner, dog. McNamara, let's go. Dylan, when Dylan was, let's go. Joe, let's go. Shea, let's go. Everybody, when Shea first came, I had faith in Shea. After that first year, when I realized Shea was a game manager, then and then that last year, Shea looked like straight boo-boo. No improvement, whatever you want to say. He looked horrible. All right, after the game 3 or 4, this dude is bad. I don't got no more faith in him. I need to see Dylan or Joe. But when you the new starter, I ain't seen what you did or whatever. Let's go. Let's go. I'm riding with you. I ain't finna knock you and I ain't even seen you play. That's my problem with a lot of our fans and people. They just knock players just because they don't like them for some whatever reason. Me, I don't care. Let's next man up. Let's go. McNamara, let's go. Joe, let's go. Dylan, let's go. JJ, let's go. I don't care who it is, but you the starter now. Let's go. Come on, baby. We got people that seem like they want some of these dudes to be bad. I don't care. So you telling me if Joe takes us to the playoff, you're gonna be mad because he ain't Dylan. You're gonna feel some type of way. Look, we got fans that Joe could take us to the playoff and we lose, and then they're gonna be like, Dylan could have won that. Dylan, I bet we would have won that game if Dylan was in, but Joe done took us to the playoff. Something we ain't did ever. And you still gonna find a way to knock him. I don't care. I might like a guy and want him to be the starter, but if he's not, I'll move on. Okay, let's see what the guy that he picked to be the starter is. Let's see what he got. Prevar says, Joe said some things on that Coach Hayes interview that really impressed me, especially when he said he knew after year 1 and 2 that he wasn't ready to read defenses. That's a fact. Joe, he's a pretty impressive interview. Just from hearing how he talks about the offense and, not being ready. Humble dude. Yeah, Yoder's super salty. And then he got some nerve because the university said he's not affiliated at all and all that with the university. They try to make sure people know. Jelani Davidson says, if Ohio State is the big dogs of the Big Ten, then how can we beat the big dogs? And by the way, we got better fans than OSU. How can we beat the big dogs? One, you have to run zone on them. Two, if we can't stop the run, they're going to destroy us. They're going to do what they do if we can't stop the run. Number three, if we can't run the ball on them, we're going to lose. The only way we can get away with not being able to run the ball is if we have a quarterback that can run and throw it. So let's just say Joe. Let's say Joe throws for 250 and runs for 65, 75. That's a lot of production because you're going to get 30 or 40 yards from your back. And then with Joe added in with 60, 70 yards, then you got 100 and some yards together. If we can't run consistently on them, we're going to lose. And big time playmakers. When we play them, you see Olave making plays. Justin Fields looking like the best player out there. You see their star players making big plays. You see that sometime or another. Chase Young and those boys making plays. You see them making consistent, their star players acting like stars. J.K. Dobbins doing the Superman on Metellus. It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's J.K. Dobbins dunking on Metellus at the goal line. Are you kidding me? Did he just slam a jammer or safety? Yes, he did. So that's the difference. Let's see. Well, I guess I'm about to get off of here in about 5 minutes. I'm gonna answer a couple more. Kenneth Graham, what do you predict the record will be at the end of the season? I don't know, bro. Maybe 1-2 losses. I'm hoping we go into OSU undefeated, and then we can put it all on the line. That's what I'm expecting. But Minnesota has me kind of nervous. Exactly, Ronnie Virgil. Urban Meyer said it's best. Your job as a coach is to adjust your system to your players, not fit square pegs and round holes. That's a fact. Like, share, subscribe, y'all. I'll probably go live again next week. I have to look at my schedule, but I might go live maybe Friday night. Let's see. Jelani says, I think Joe Milton can be read the OSU defense and be a quarterback like Pat Mahomes and read defenses like Tom Brady. I hope so. Yes. Minnesota didn't play anyone last year. Why are people overrating them? Minnesota beat Penn State. We lost to Penn State. Minnesota had a lot of NFL talent. Emily Robinson or Emil. Minnesota had a lot of talent. They lost a lot of that talent, though. That's why I'm not really worried about it too much, because they lost a lot of that talent. But they were legit. They were legit last year. Last year they had 2 NFL receivers. Bateman could have went pro. Their running back, he had about 1,200 yards. He went pro. Their linebackers went pro. Their safety, he's starting on the Bucks. I'm talking about when I went through their roster, I was like, they probably would have beat us last year. They were legit. They had the talent, but they lost a lot of that talent. Emil, they lost a lot of that talent, so that's why I think we can beat them. Last year, if we played them early in the year, they probably would have destroyed us. Just being honest. I'm Dan Reed says you're a legit fan, real fan, Johnny, even though we don't root for the same team. Much respect. It's going to be a fun season, hopefully. Yes, sir. Hopefully it is. I appreciate the love, bro. Bree Van Ryan says, where do you watch the games? I just bought a projector in August, and it's in my living room. So I'm seeing that widescreen, y'all. I got the projector going, so I'm gonna be in the living room watching the games. You know what I'm saying? It's got the whole wall. So, cause my pops bought a projector. I watched last year. I went home to Memphis, and my pops, he got a projector, and we were watching Clemson and OSU on the projector. I was like, this is amazing. Like, this isn't watching it like watching the game on even a flat screen 50-inch. Like, it's just such a massive screen. Like, that's the way to go. If you got enough room and space, get you a projector, because it takes watching any sport to the next level. Congrats, Jelani Davidson. Congrats on the baby. Stephen Brown says Iowa and Purdue whipped up on OSU, and they definitely don't have more talent than Michigan. It's about having skilled guys that know they can win. Devin Bush said it best. That's a fact. Saturday after the game, I'm gonna make a video. I'm just gonna record a video, and then once I get my thoughts and everything together, I'll probably go live that Sunday. I'll probably start going live after the game the next day, and we can chop it up. Bree says, "Do you pace back and forth all game like I do?" Nah, bro. I'm more of a like I'm a coach or something. I'm just yelling things like, "Why are they doing this? I can't believe they're doing this. You gotta be kidding me. This man is running man again." Like I'm that type. I'm yelling at the TV constantly. Steve Brown says Michigan has to go in the game knowing they can win instead of hoping they can. If the mentality changes, the outcome changes. Michigan knows they can beat MSU, and they have to take that to OSU. Yeah, it's and this is the last point that I'm gonna get off of here, y'all. It's when you haven't beat someone in so long, it becomes a mental block because you can be up in the game and still find a way to lose it because the clock starts ticking, the pressure starts going up. Like the pressure becomes greater. Like, okay, just like we could get up 20 on OSU and they still gonna be confident that they can come back and beat us. But once we get down 20 against OSU, we like, oh, it's a wrap. They about to put up 70 on us. Yeah, it's over. But let us get up 14 or 20. They don't have a problem. They like, okay, they got our attention. Let's go. Let's go. They start looking at each other like, we about to lose to Michigan? No. We going to be the first team to lose to Michigan in, 7, 8 years? Nah, bro. Let's go, bro. You got my back. I got your back. Let's go. And that's what we're missing. But it's a mental block. We have to beat them to get over that mental block. And that's what it is. Lulu, I appreciate you moderating. You always come through. But that's all, y'all. Y'all like, share, subscribe, share the video. And that's all I got for today, y'all. And as always, go blue.